Do
I'll
you have,
just see.
yeah, you can test it and see. I'll just share my screen. So let me know if the one you did last week is working and drawing the cool.
Yep, it's working.
It is?
Yep.
Cool. And it's doing like the cool shapes and not just one shape?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. That's good. So that was the end of that. Then we're going to start a new topic today. So what you can do is open up a new program. I'll open up idle first. So actually, yeah, just open up idle and just keep it on the shell first for now. So just like the one with the 3 arrows.
Okay.
Yep. So we're going to be learning about random numbers and lists with Python. So when we have that, we can do like lots of cool things, but I'll explain it as we go along. Let me know when you have the Python shell open.
Got it open right now.
Got it open? Okay, cool. So yeah, so we're going to be learning about random numbers and lists. They're two different concepts in Python. So random numbers are just like what it sounds like. You can generate random numbers and they're like useful in games and things like that if you want to like randomly select things. And I'll show you quickly if you look at my screen. We'll make this at the end of this lesson, but this is done using random numbers and lists. So I just press play. I'm not moving this. And like it's just drawing different colors and sizes. And it's just wandering around and drawing its own thing. So that's using like the concepts we're learning today. So if we go back to our shell, we'll start with list. So do you remember what a variable is?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to try explaining?
So it's like something. Well, variable can mean different things.
Mm-hmm.
There's like many different types of variables. But so, for instance, a string is a variable.
A string. Yep. That's one. So that's like you can save a string
Yeah.
as a variable. So that's one type.
I can save many things, whatever you want to a certain thing. So
Yeah.
I could save, so if I go, well, like I
Mm-hmm.
equals whatever you want, like
Yep.
I equals food or something like that.
Yeah, that's correct. So it's just like a way of storing data, kind of, right? Like
Yeah,
remembering things. Yeah.
yeah.
But with variables, we can
Knows
only,
like
oh, sorry.
remember it.
Pardon?
So the computer knows to remember it.
Yeah, exactly. Like then it can keep track of things like the score or things like that. So the only thing with variables is it can only like keep track of one thing. So it can only remember one thing. But if we want to remember a whole bunch of things, for example, like a shopping list or something, because
Yeah.
with a shopping list, we like, we can only go shopping list equals and then one string. We can't go like apple, bananas, a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
So that's where we use lists. So a list basically means we can store multiple bits of data. So for example, a list looks like this. So we have the name, so it's just like a variable. So I might just call it shopping. And then equals. So it's like almost the same as a variable right now, like it's the same thing we do. But for a list, we use these square brackets. And then we put all our items that we want, like whatever data we want in the list inside those square brackets. So for example, if this was a shopping list and I wanted it to remember lots of different words, so lots of different strings, I would type in the strings like this. So remember, because it's a string, it needs the quotation marks as well. And then if you want different items, you just add a comma to separate them. So like so many games use lists as well. So it doesn't just have to be a shopping list. For example, like Pokemon would store a list of all like your Pokemons collected, and it would just have like the names of them like here or something like that. Or even like Minecraft with all your tools and stuff.
Yeah.
It would save it in a list. So for example, if we typed it like in your backpack equals, and then you can say like the names of what you have, like a pickaxe and like a sword. Oh, I spelled that wrong. A sword. And then like, you know, and then every time in the game, if you collect like a new item or something, it would just add it onto this list. So that's why we can use lists, because they're pretty useful when we want to save multiple bits of data in one thing. And then we can also have a list. Right now, these are with strings, but we can also have a list with numbers. So for example, if we wanted to make a list of years of something, we could go years is equal to, and then we just type in the numbers we want. So 2001, 2002, you know, and we can keep going. So that's how we set it up. Does that kind of make sense so far?
Yep.
So then what we can do now is we can, because sometimes we might want to access a certain item from the list. So to do that, there's something called indexes. So first I'll just get you to make a list. So I might make it shopping, and then I'll just add a few items.
Yep, I've done that.
Oh, you've done that.
I got it shopping, and I did apple and milk.
Okay.
Banana.
Okay, cool. And then just press enter so that it gets saved if you haven't done that already.
I have.
Okay, yeah, cool. So now if we just want to get one item from your list, so what's the second item in your list? Is that banana?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to get that item out, because if you type in like the word shopping, like you usually do with a variable, and press enter, it gives you the whole list.
But when I typed in shopping,
Mm-hmm.
and I just realized I made a mistake.
What was your mistake?
Spelling?
Stop. Oh, stopping. Yeah. So it's a bit picky. You have to type in the exact name. So try it with the actual word shopping, unless you accidentally saved it as stopping, whichever one.
But yeah, I saved it as shopping.
Okay, cool.
But
so now
when I tried to type it again, I accidentally did a spelling mistake.
All right. Okay. So now is it all fixed?
Yep.
Yep. Cool. And then if you type in the word and press enter, the whole list appears?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So that's good if we want the whole list. But if we just want one item, so for example, if you want to get bananas out, we use something called an index in Python. So an index is basically it's saying like which element like in the list it is. So with programming languages, index start from 0. So this would be like the 0 item, like first item, second item. So with my example, if I wanted to get apple out, I would type in the word, like the list, and then to get an index of a list, you use these square brackets again. And this time we just put in the number of the index we want. So for example, if I want the first item in the list, I would type in 0. And if I press enter, it will give me the first item. So it always starts from 0, and then that's how you can access the different items in your list. So if you wanted to get your banana item, what number would you need to put in?
1.
1. Yep. And then
I just tried it and it works.
it works. Cool.
Now I'm trying 0. Yep.
Yep, it works.
Apple.
Cool. Yeah. So it's a bit confusing sometimes that it starts from 0, but that's just how like the programming languages work. So you just got to remember, like when you're counting it, you go 0, 1, 2. Okay. Another thing, yeah. So if we just do another example, like with numbers, for example, years is equal to. So I'm making another list with numbers like with different years in it. So I might go 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. So now if I wanted to just get the year 2003, what would I need to type in?
3.
3, yep. But like, what else would I need to type in? Like the whole thing.
You type in years, square brackets, and inside them the number 3.
3? Yep. Yeah. So, this one was easy as well because it's like the end of the year. Works kind of in a way, but yeah, that's right. So, do you have any questions with that part? Or does it all make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
All makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Cool.
Put it inside my head.
Got it in your head. That's good. Okay. So that's lists, and that's how we just save multiple bits of data in one like a variable, but it's called a list. So the next thing we're gonna go through is something called random numbers. So it's pretty much what it sounds like if you want to get a random number for some reason in your game. Like in the case of this program that I showed you, it's getting like random numbers on like which way to turn and stuff like that. It'll make more sense after, but I'll first introduce random numbers. So you know how with Turtle there was something called a library?
Yeah.
Yep. So do you remember what a library is?
It's something that other people have like created.
Yep.
Like Turtle.
Yeah. So it's like
that we can use.
Yeah.
Like borrowing from a library.
Yeah, exactly. It's like borrowing from a library. And then do you remember, so like with Turtle, whenever we want to use a library, what do we need to do at the beginning of our program?
So we need to do import.
Yep, exactly.
Whatever the library's name is called.
Yep, good job. So this one, so this one is called the random library. So what we want to do is we want to import and then random. So then if you just press enter, it should work. So what we want to do is if we want to get a random number, so if you remember like a number is an integer, like that's kind of another word, we can use something called rand int. So it looks like this. We can use like a function like this. So what we can do is, because do you remember with Turtle how whenever we use a library, we have to go like random dot, we have to go turtle dot something.
Yes.
With the random library, we have to do the same thing. So we need to go random dot, and then we can type in rand int. So as you're typing, you might get like a little drop down box that it gives you hints. So if you just press space, I think it would automatically fill it out. Yep, cool. So now inside the brackets, we have to put like a number range. So if we want a random number between 1 to 10, we just type in the number 1 and then a comma and then the number 10.
I accidentally pressed enter.
You accidentally pressed enter. Did anything happen?
Yeah.
Yeah? What happened? Did you get an error or?
No.
No, it just
I
went.
accidentally pressed enter before I did any of the bracket stuff.
And
it came up with like this message.
Oh, message. Let me try it on mine and see. Okay, yeah. So the message, does it say something like, is it in red text? Does it
No,
look
it's
like
not like an error message.
it's not an error message?
But like I did it before I put in the brackets.
Oh, before the brackets as well. So you just want random dot random.
Yeah, and I accidentally pressed enter.
Oh, wait, hang on. I spelled it wrong. Ran int. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came up with that one.
So I think that's some other kind of, not an error, but I think it's saying, it's telling you like it's giving you this bit of data, but because like we don't really know how to make sense of that data, I think that's why we just use it in the function, so it gives it back to us in a nice way. But yeah, that's a different type of message, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
have you ever seen it before?
Not this exact one, I haven't. I think what it's trying to say is it's trying to like make this method, like it's trying to make rand int into something, and it's telling you where in the library like that random number is. I think I've seen one similar, but yeah, it's not exactly an error message, but it's just, I think it's giving you a bit of information, but because we didn't print it like with the brackets and in the nice way, this is what it looks like. So when we do it with the brackets and putting this stuff in the brackets, then the function in that library, it works out how to change this into the number we want. So that's kind of what it's doing. But yeah, so if we go back to random.randint, if we want a random number between 1 to 10, we just type in 1 and then 10 inside the brackets with a comma. And then if you press enter, it should give you a number.
Yep.
And you can try that again, and it might give you a different number, it might not.
I got 6.
You got 6? Yeah. So the point is that it's random. So it will be, yeah. So now I got 6. So it would
I got 10.
every time. Yeah, I got 1. So it's like from 1 to 10. You can also change the range of that number. So you can make it like 1 to 100 or something like that. To just try a few different combinations and see how it works. You could even do like 5 to 50. It's just the range that you set it to be. So does that all make sense so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know how to use like and make a random number, but like, you know, we gotta figure out like why random numbers are useful. So one thing they're good for is picking a random thing from the list. So you know how we learned about lists and indexes?
Yeah.
Instead of putting like one set number as the index, we can use this randint function. So we can use a random number to get a random item from the list. So for example, we can make a list like a menu or something, and you can put in some food. So like pizza and sandwich and salad. So just put in a few different bits of food that you like.
I've changed it to 1 and 1 million.
1 and 1 million. Whoa. So did you get a number?
Yep.
Was it a big number or a small number?
Yep.
Big number. Yeah. So now it has like an even bigger range.
Yeah, it was 222 628.
Oh whoa, that is pretty big. 222 628. Yeah. Yeah. So the bigger the range is, the more likely you are to also get different numbers. So like if you do the range like from 1 to 5, then there's only 5 possibilities of random numbers. So you're only going to get like, you know, you're gonna get repeats of the same number. But then if you do a huge huge number like the one you did, it might be less likely that you get the same number.
I accidentally closed it.
You accidentally close it. Oh no, that's okay. You can just open it up again.
Yeah.
And just remember, because it's the Python shell, it doesn't save anything from last time.
Yeah.
So what do you need to import again?
Random.
Yep. So do that. And then you can test it again if you want. So you gotta go test it by choosing a random number between a range, just to double check that it works. So is it working? Did it work, Chester? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So did the random thing work?
Haven't tested it yet, but
Okay.
I'll just check it now.
Sure.
Yep.
It worked? Cool. Yeah. So what we can use, like one useful thing we can use random numbers for is to pick a random item from a list. So go ahead and make a list if you haven't already. So I just made one called menu and then just put in a few different food items.
Can I just go grab something quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Back.
Cool.
Powering on. Welcome to All Tech Launching.
What was that?
You just hear a beeping noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this thing.
What is that thing?
Bluetooth thingy-majig.
Ah, cool, cool.
I was plugging it in.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering what that noise was.
Hmm.
So just let me know when you've set that up, and then we'll continue.
Okay, so got set up. Should be good.
You're good?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So if you go back to idle, you just need to make a list. So I made a list called menu and just added some food items like pizza, sandwich, salad, and sushi. So what we can do is with this list, we can like take a random item out of it using our random numbers thing. So let me know when you've made the list. So then we can use this list to help us pick what we want to eat. So one day, if you're not sure like what you want to eat, you can make a list like this and then take a random item out of that list. Or you can do it with stuff like movies or something. If you're not sure which movie you want to watch, you can add all the names in a list, and then we can use a random number to take a random movie, to pick one. So have you made the list yet?
Doing it right now.
Cool. So you don't need to add too many items for now. You can just add in a few.
Done.
Done? Okay, cool. So what we want to do now is yours a menu as well, or is it something else? It's a menu? Okay, cool. So what we want to do now is take like a random menu item from this menu. So what we'll do is we'll save it in a variable first, just because we can. So we'll save it as something called like maybe for dinner. So we're trying to find out what we want to have for dinner. So we can go for dinner equals. And then usually, if we want to take something from a list, what do we need to type in? Using our index. So Chester, if we want to get an item out of our list using our index and like the number, what do we need to type in? I can hardly hear you. You might need to get a bit closer to your mic. I still can't hear you, Chester. Like it's still very soft with my volume up high.
Chester will be right back.
Okay, cool. Thank you. To change.
It makes circles around.
Oh, it makes circles around. Oh yeah, I think I've seen that one. Yeah. So what we want to do
Colors.
and colors, yeah. So it's a bit similar to what we're doing. So what we want to do is we want to change the background color of like the screen that pops up, because usually it's just white, but we can change it to something else. So I changed mine to black. So I just typed in turtle and then dot .bg color. So that stands for background.
Turtle. Dot.
BG color, all in one word. And then on the
Brackets.
Yep, brackets.
Done.
And then inside the brackets, quotation mark. And then you can type in your color. I made it black. And I was just saying, make sure that the color you have in your list, make sure that's not the same as your background color, because otherwise when it draws that, when it comes to that color, you won't be able to see anything, because they'll be both the same. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yep. So have you done that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to actually make our turtle start to move. So actually what we'll do is we'll run this and then save it, and we can just see what it looks like so far. So make sure to choose a place where you know where it's saved. I'm gonna call this wandering turtle, but you can call it something else if you want.
So should we write?
Yeah, so run it and see what happens. You should just get a black screen with like your turtle drawn. But the turtle
Okay,
might.
I'm gonna save it. To that.
So you might just get like a completely black screen, or whatever color you set it to.
Yeah, I'd change mine to black.
You change it to black? Yep. So let me know
I
what.
think because you'd get a completely black screen is because the original marker was black.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we can't see our turtle. But yeah, later on we'll change the color of it, so it shouldn't matter too much. So we'll do that now. So we'll work on the color. So do you remember how, I think it was last week or in a previous lesson, we learnt a loop where we can make something happen forever? Do you remember what it was? So like if we want to do some stuff and keep doing it forever, we typed in a word, like 2 words. It was called the while loop.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
You remember that? Yep. So what we want to do is we want to type in the word while and then true with a capital T. And then just put this colon, semicolon. Because what we want to do is we always want to be moving and changing the color of our turtle. So once you've done the while true bit of code, we can change the color of. So make sure you're tabbed in. So there's like when you start typing, make sure there's a space there.
Yep, I'm tabbed in.
Yep, cool. So what we want to do is we want to change the color of Bob. So we got to go bob.color and then circle brackets. But instead of typing a specific color, we want to do something else. So just let me know once you have that typed in.
Oh wait, not done.
Not that.
Now I'm done.
You're done? Cool. So instead of making Bob a specific color like green or something, we want to pick a random one from our colors list. So what do you think we'd need to type in?
We do a random thingy.
Yep. So we need to go random dot rand int. And then we need, okay, wait, sorry. Before the random dot rand int, we're getting a random thing from our colors list. So we need to first type in the word colors so that it knows that's the list we're talking about. And then which brackets do we need if we want to get the index or something?
Square bracket.
Yep. So put 2 square brackets.
And it makes a square.
Yeah.
Put
Like
together.
square brackets.
Yep.
And then inside those brackets, that's where we want to put our random number. So random dot rand int. And now we need circle brackets or round brackets. And then you need to put in a number range. So how many items do you have in your list?
I have 6. Got 6 numbers.
6? Okay, so what do you think the beginning and ending range will be, like the numbers for the range? So
5,
5, yep. So that's the ending one, and then what's the first one?
0.
Yep, good job. So 0 and 5, and I also have 6, so mine's the same. And now try run it and see what happens. So just double check before you run it, because there's a lot of brackets with this line of code. Double check that every bracket has like a matching bracket on the other side. So if there's a round bracket here, there should be a round bracket there, then a square one, and a square one, a round one, and a round one.
Hmm.
Do you have one missing?
No,
No?
I just found it.
Just found it, yeah. So some are like spread out a bit more than others.
Yep, got all of them.
Cool. So now try run it and see what happens. Now you should be able to see your turtle, and it should just be changing color.
No, I didn't. I got an error code.
An error code? What does it say?
It says, let me see.
Or do you want to share your screen? Would that be easier?
I reckon.
Yeah. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. And you can start. It says name error Bob is not defined. That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, okay, I see it. So at the very top, do you see how on your third line of code, do you see how it says bob.turtle.turtle?
Yeah,
Yep,
this
that
one.
line of code, yeah. So we want Bob is like the name of our turtle, so it's kind of like a variable. So you need to go Bob equals turtle.turtle instead of the dot. So the error is called a name error, and it's just saying the name Bob is not defined. So when you add that equal sign there, that's how you're defining it, because it's a variable, so you got to make it equal to something.
Stop sharing.
And let me know if that works. So it should just be flashing. Another error?
It's not flashing at all.
It's not flashing at all. Let's have a look at your code again. So if you share it. So do you see just the black screen?
No, I know black screen and my color's black.
Oh. So did anything pop up? Like did the turtle?
Yeah, the turtle popped up.
Ah, okay. Okay. So where you say, if you just close those and just go back to your code. So where you go turtle.bg color black, you know how in your colors thing, all of the names of the colors are in quotation marks?
Yeah.
Because it's like a word, so it's like a string.
Yeah.
So you have to
so
do
shall I put the black in quotation?
Yep. And the same thing with turtle up on the top there as well, where you change the shape. Bob.shape turtle for both of them. Add it in.
Okay.
And remember to close it as well. The beginning and ending closing bracket.
Yep.
Yep. So do it for both that turtle and the word black. And then I think it should work.
Okay, should be good now.
Yep. So just test it really quickly and then let me know.
Yes.
Yes, it's working.
It's going at the speed of light.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's changing really fast, but that's good. So we might leave it there because it's the end of the lesson. So just save your work and then we can finish it at the beginning of the next lesson.
Okay, I think
but
I
yeah.
already saved it, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure, so I'll just check.
Yeah, so it would have saved because you just ran it, but you can just click like file save again. But other than that, did you have any other questions?
No.
No?
It's not saved there.
It's not
Must have not saved it properly.
Maybe it's saved in another spot because it would have had to save when you ran it.
No, I definitely pressed it in here. It's not here.
You can go back to your file and go file, save as, and save it in a different spot if you want,
Yeah, I'll just save it in the same spot, but like
like a different name.
yeah, let me.
Okay, but yeah,
Yes.
I'll once you save that, I'll see you next week.
Okay.